everyone. Mitch coming in for the Command Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an exciting one for you where I talk about the cards that all of a sudden, when you play them, the entire room changes. All of your opponents are on edge because these are the cards that make your opponents instantly panic. Let's jump into them. First of all, tiny but mighty. Yeah, you should panic as well if you see Scoot Swarm hit the table because that is the biggest threat on the board. I mean, most recently, actually, I played with a group at one point where this came down. We had some newer players, and they're like, why is that big of a deal? It's just a little 1-1. Yeah, this is the biggest deal. This is the biggest deal on the board. I don't care whatever else is out there. The tiny little Scoot Swarm is a big deal. Even if it's down again on turn 3 or whatever, okay? It's going to become the problem of the table. A 1-1 insect for 3 mana in green. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1-1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create tokens copy of Scoot Swarm instead. I mean, I was doing my best with all the bug spray in the world that I had to take out all these Scoot Swarms, and it was not enough. I mean, I was taking out like 20 at a time, and it did not matter. Because if you don't have a board wipe after it gets to the crucial point of just so many Scoots out there, the game is basically over again. Being able to just go, okay, land, exponentially grow my board, basically doubling up my board again and again and again just by a land drop. Of course, with like Evolving Wilds or any kind of a fetch land as well, doubling that up again. Or any ramp spells, or any other just like, hey, get lands into play effects. My goodness, this is absolutely insane. It is insanity. So again, it's tiny, but it's mighty. Do not underestimate this card. And yeah, if you are one of the opponents that has played against this as well, you know that it's going to make you instantly panic the second that you see it. On the opposite end of things, Archfiend of Depravity, a 5/4 demon with flying for 5 mana in black. It says, beginning of each opponent's end step, the player chooses up to 2 creatures they control, then sacrifices the rest. Yeah, this is a just absolutely disgusting card. One that, again, your entire plans can be ruined the second this hits the table if you don't have a response to it, because you're like, oh, okay, I've got this giant, massive board. Maybe it's of Scoot Swarms. Okay, maybe it is. I've got this giant, massive board of amazing creatures. Oh, okay, yeah, if I don't have a response to this, then I'm just down to just 2 creatures. They get to I just get to keep 2. Basically, again, all your opponents. Again, this is not an effect that actually affects the owner of this card. It's just your opponent's end steps. So again, opponents are going to be panicking. They're going to be scrambling like, well, I've got this giant army of great creatures. Now I can only keep 2. And it's not like destroy them. It's not like indestructible creatures are fine. No. Sacrifice them. They are gone. So yeah, this is a card that can absolutely wreck game plans. And again, your opponent's going to be like, just, do you have removal? Okay, do you have removal? Okay, none of us have removal. Start digging! Everyone start digging! Get to some removal, please, because if not, my board is going to be decimated again and again and again and again and again. Moving on. This one is kind of hilarious because it's going to happen on turn 1, and it does happen on turn 1. And the way that you play this, and I know technically it's probably not a legal way to play it in Magic where you're like just showing the card and you're like, okay, who wants to make a deal? And you're like, all right, I paid the 1 I put in play, and I'm like, I'm not attaching it to anyone yet. I'm just saying, like, all right, who doesn't want this attached to them, and what are you going to give me for it? Because literally you can, again, instill fear and panic into your opponents again, literally on turn 0 for them. Again, if it's turn 1 for you, you're like, all right, I'm first up. Cool, all right. Curse of Opulence, like, what? This game is going in this direction right away. An Aura Curse that has enchant player for a single red mana. Whenever enchant player is attacked, create a gold token. Each opponent attacking the player does the same. It is really hard to not attack the player that has this attached to them. You're like, well, I could get extra mana, though, so I'm sorry. I'm going to swing at you. And they're like, why? Not only is that player, again, actively getting hit by everyone because they want money, right? You know, they want the gold. But also, they aren't able to get any benefits from this either. They can't attack themselves. So, there you go. It is a card that, again, instantly, literally, the game starts, and instantly there is panic in the game. I mean, you can say it's a good amount of the curses, too, right? It can definitely instill panic into opponents when you play it down. But this is one, again, that is actively, immediately, right away. Hey, you know what? A giant incentive, a giant target on someone, and you're placing it, again, before the game really even starts for players. It's absurd. Next up, and I guess I should already mention this, but if you are interested in any of these cards, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. But yeah, Tainted Remedy, absolutely disgusting. A card that literally can just wreck opponents and their entire strategies and turn things on their heads. Enchantment for 3 mana in black. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Again, literally just warping the rules of the game, saying, you know what? No, you've got literally no chance now. You cannot gain life. You know your life gain deck over there? Too bad. Your commander that's got lifelink? Too bad. Doesn't matter. Whenever you try to gain life, you are just getting pain instead. So much pain. Incredible amounts of pain. And of course, if you're playing in a kind of deck that can maybe, we'll talk about this here in a little bit, I don't know, like swap life, you know, kind of things. Or if you've got a way to like force life gain on opponents, you can turn a card like Congregate into a one-shot KO on someone. Yeah, this is a card that can definitely instill panic into opponents again because their entire strategy is wrecked when this is in play. From another angle, though, Mechanized Production, a card that can definitely instill fear into your opponents, definitely make them panic, an aura that costs 4 mana in blue, enchant artifact you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a token's copy of enchanted artifact, then if you control 8 or more artifacts with the same name as one another, you win the game. I always found this kind of weird, that it's like, you know, I mean, not weird, that'd be very specific in the way they worded it, but like, I guess, enchant non-token artifact you control is how they could have done it to start, right? So it's not like, you can just be like, oh yeah, I've got like 18 treasures in play. Okay, I enchant one of my treasures. Okay, I mean, I guess when they made the card initially, it wasn't that big of a deal, treasures, but still. Basically, here's the thing with this one. Either you are enchanting an insanely powerful artifact, and you're like, yeah, I just get a Soul Ring every single turn. Wow! I mean, yeah, it's incredible. That's a 1-mana card that you're like, yeah, I just do that, and it's insane. Or, you know, a giant, again, like Blightsteel Colossus. That could be absolutely decimating. Or it's just like, again, like, oh, it's a very simple, very easy alternative win condition to get to. Your opponents are going to be panicking in any of those scenarios. Again, either you're getting an insane amount of value, game-ending cards, or you're just literally going to end the game because you win the game because you've got 8 treasures in play or clues or whatnot. So yeah, it's a card that, for a multitude of reasons, in a lot of different ways, can cause your opponents to panic. Moving on, Mystic Barrier. This one kind of reminds me of Rorschach from Watchmen, where it's like, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. Enchantment for 5 mana, essentially in white. When it enters the battlefield, or at the beginning of your upkeep, again, you can change this, which is amazing. Choose left or right. Each player may attack only the opponent seated nearest to them in the last chosen direction. Planeswalker controlled by a player. Basically, hey, I am changing the rules of the game. We are going in this direction or we're going in that direction, and you again can just lock someone down to be stuck with you, or again lock other players down to be stuck with other players. Again, getting attacked by, again, the most powerful player out there is not fun. So you're gonna be like, you're seated on my right, we're going right then. All right, I can attack you, you can't attack me, but you can go attack person across from me. So you basically, again, just lock down someone into a series of attacks that, well, they might not want to do, but again, players are like, well, I've got the creatures, like, I've got to attack, like, you know, I'm sorry, all right, I'm going to swing anyways. Or, of course, if you have ways to force attacks, again, you are controlling the board, you are controlling the game, and the players that are now, unfortunately, sitting next to the players that have the most powerful board and that you're forcing them to be attacked by, yeah, you're going to be panicking quite a bit. Or again, if you're that player that has the most powerful board and you're like, okay, I need to take out the Mystic Barrier player, but I can't attack them, yeah, I'm panicking because I can see how this game is going, where the control is happening right now. Okay, I referenced this one a little while ago, but Axis of Mortality, I love this card. One of my favorite cards of all time, and just the look of panic on your opponent's faces, and not even just panic, but like, hey, remember how good of a friend I am to you? Ha 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 ha. Enchantment for 6 mana in white. You may have, 2 target players exchange life totals at the beginning of your upkeep because you're such a nice person. Here's the thing with this one. You're like, okay, yeah, I can be very nice and kind and make deals, of course. You know, that player over there has got 100 life. I don't like them very much right now. They're doing too good. Then you over there, you're not doing too well over there. You're at 10. Hey, you know what? Let's make a deal, okay? I'll swap your 2 life totals, okay? You can't attack me until we're in a one-on-one scenario, okay? Yeah, there are deals you can make with this that are insane. Again, literally, like, I am turning another player's entire game around while also decimating another player who's in control of the game. And I'm saying, you know what? We're making a deal. It is the way it is. You either want to gain 90 life or you don't. Or, of course, just being able to go, hey, I'm always going to be the highest life total, and I'm going to swap players down to the lowest life total, especially if you have a life swap deck like my Seleniad Archangel deck. Go check that out. That's one of my very first episodes on this channel. I love that deck, though. I will warn you, please adjust that deck down to maybe less than like 15 board wipes, okay? Because players and playgroups typically don't like playing against that many. And I learned that at a certain point a long, long time ago. But yeah, adjust that down. Just take a couple of those out, okay? Anyways, being able to go, okay, I put my life total down to 1 or 2 or whatever it is, and then swap with someone and take them out, it's so much fun. But yeah, a card that can make players panic because, again, they think they're in charge of the game. They think they've got things figured out. They think that, oh, I'm at 1,000 life. I'm untouchable. And you play this and you're like, yeah, you're getting taken down right here, right now. Bye-bye. Every single spell your opponents cast is an excruciating experience for them. Mind's Dilation, enchantment for 7 mana in blue. Whenever opponent casts their first spell each turn, the player exiles the top card of their library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast without paying its mana cost. Steal your opponent's things off the top of the library when they're playing spells. It's not like they can just decide, you know what, for the rest of the game, I'm never casting a spell. Never. Yeah, they're not going to be doing that. That's not going to be happening. So all of a sudden, it's just, all right, let's roll the dice and see what amazing card you get to steal off the top of an opponent's library. Again, you make all those situations so stressful for those players where they're like, oh my goodness, okay, all right, is it really worth me casting this opt right now on an opponent's turn? Oh gosh, I'm going to be giving them a free card. Oh no. Oh no. So yeah, being able to just get free things off the top players' libraries, absolutely insane. And again, opponents are doing it to themselves by playing spells, and they're not going to stop playing spells, so panic will ensue. Next up, one of my favorite sorceries of all time. Yeah, I'm kind of a terrible person. Anyways, Worst Fears, sorcery for 8 mana in black. Okay, it's not one of my favorite ones of all time, but it's fun to play, and it is the look on players' faces again, kind of like the Curse of Opulence thing where you just like put it on the table and you're like, all right, who's it gonna go to? And everyone's like, no. Hey, remember how such a good friend I am? I'll do this for you, okay? I won't attack you ever again until it's one-on-one, okay? You control target player during that player's next turn, exile Worst Fears. Again, players in Magic, right? If you're just thinking about what are the most important things in a game of Magic, especially Commander, right? Okay, mana. Yeah, mana. Okay, yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, if I'm first in mana, I'm going to be winning the game. Okay, card draw. If I've got the most cards, if I have the most resources, okay, I'm going to be ahead of opponents. The greatest resource, actually, in Magic, and in life in general, is time, okay? It is time, and with that, you are taking someone's time. You are literally taking their turn. You are taking all of their decision-making away from them, and you get to control what they do. And you're going to make the worst decisions possible for them, the worst plays they could ever make. Again, everyone makes misplays, yes, but you are intentionally making every single worst misplay that they could possibly make. Again, they had to deal with another opponent, and they're like, yeah, the two of us are just going to team up, and we're going to, stay top of the game, and we're going to control the game, and at the end, we'll just fight each other, and whoever does it wins. Okay, cool. You control that player, and you're like, all right, that deal's off, and I'm swinging at you with their board. Again, all these plans, all these machinations that you had are now all thrown out the window because your turn is my turn. I control your board. I control everything you do. All those spells that you were going to cast that would negatively impact the opponents are now impacting yourself. All the worst attacks that you could possibly make are happening. You're leaving yourself wide open. Worst Fears is the most brutal card to, again, just play, put down the board. Again, technically probably breaking Magic rules that you aren't choosing an opponent, but you're like, hey, yeah, I'm putting this on the board. I'm going to be casting this. Hey, who wants to make a deal? Because if you don't make a deal, and I really want to take you out, I will take you out with this card right now. So yeah, it is an amazing card. So much fun, and so panic-inducing. And finally, okay, perhaps the most brutal card that I'm bringing up on this entire episode, but yeah, this is a game-changing card. I'm not calling it a game-changer. I said a game-changing card. Artifact for 8. If a player would draw a card and the player skips that draw instead, the end of each turn, each player sacrifices a permanent unless they discard a card from their hand. Here's the thing with this one. Yeah, you again are changing the rules of the game. Again, if a player draw a card, they skip it instead. Do you know what that does? That just locks players out, again, unless you build around it, which you probably have if you get this card in your deck. Maybe you got some impulse draw. Maybe you've got some other kinds of effects that can get cards from your library into your hand, some tutoring effects, or just like place the top card of your library in, or play off the top of your library, things like that. Sure. But if you don't have that, literally, again, for basically most players out there, for almost all players out there, and you play this is, hey, you see your hand? Okay, you're stuck with that. There's nothing else that you have. No other resources you're going to be gaining. In fact, you're going to be losing resources if you sacrifice a permanent or discard a card. You're going to be actively losing resources. Again, I built my deck in a way that I'm okay with having this in play. Again, either I've got a way to create more resources to sacrifice, or I got ways to get around that card draw. Whatever it is, I've got ways to get around it. You don't, and you are stuck. This is a card that says you are stuck. We're in an impasse right here, okay? You're not going past this unless you can take this out. If you don't have a way to take it out right now, it's not like you're drawing into one, because guess what? You can't draw. Panic inducing. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.